Hi, we're going to discuss writing equations of circles and working with equations of circles. First of all, we need to know what the main formula is. So for any circle with the center at the point HK and the radius r, this is going to be the equation for it. And the first thing we need to learn is how to identify the center and the radius from the given equation. One thing that I do want to point out to you, which is very important, you need to understand that this is going to say x minus h. This is how the formula is set up, but sometimes you're going to see plus and you need to handle it correctly. So what happens here? This is x minus 1, x minus h, so the value of h is 1. What is the value of k? We have y plus 4. The formula calls for y minus. That means the value of k is going to be negative. So it's negative 4. That means the center is going to be at 1, negative 4. What about the radius? Well, this number here, and you need to be very careful, it's a very common mistake. This here is radius squared. That means the radius is going to be the square root of 9, which is 3. Let's try the next problem. So here we got x plus 5 squared. So x plus 5 means the value of h is going to be a negative number, and it's negative 5. And then y, the value of k here is going to be 0. So k is 0. That means the center is going to be at negative 5, 0. What is the radius? Again, we want to remember this is radius squared, so the radius here is going to be 6. Example 3. So we have h is going to be positive 3 and k is going to be positive 2, right? X minus 3, h is 3, y minus 2, k is 2. So the center here is going to be at 3, 2. What about the radius? So the radius here is going to be the square root of 18, and 18 is not a perfect square, which could happen. So what we need to do then is we're going to just simplify that. It's going to be 3 square root of 2. Okay, so now we're going to do the opposite. Now we're going to write the equation of a circle with the given center and the radius. So we use the same formula, so it's going to be x minus h, h here is 3, that's the x coordinate, plus y minus the y coordinate of the center is 7 squared, equals 4 squared. Remember, a radius squared. So your final equation should be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 16. Please note the center here is at negative 3, negative 1, so the way we set this up is going to be x minus negative 3 squared plus y minus negative 1 squared equals 5 squared. It's going to become x plus 3 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25. Center at 0, 2, the radius is square root of 5, so it's going to be x minus 0 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals square root of 5 squared. This is just going to leave you with x squared. This is going to remain y minus 2 squared. And over here we are going to have 5. Now we have some pictures of circles, and we are going to figure out their equations based on this information. So what do we have here? We have a circle whose center is going to be at the origin, 0, 0. And the radius here is going to be, so you go from the center horizontally or vertically, and right here is going to be 3. The equation that we're going to get is going to be x squared plus y squared equals 9. The reason we don't have anything else here is because x minus 0 squared is x and y minus 0 is y. Example 8. Let's see what we have here. As far as the center here is at 3, negative 5. And what is the radius here? The radius, we're going to go from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4. The radius is 4. So our equation is going to be x minus 3 squared plus y is going to be minus negative 5, so plus 5 squared equals radius squared, that's 16. This one, the center here is at negative 1, 3. The radius here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 also. So our equation is going to be x minus negative 1, so x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. And this circle here, so we kind of have to figure it out, and the center is going to be right there. That point is 2, 4. The radius here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the equation here is going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 5 squared, that's 25. Some of the other problems are going to be where they give you the center and they give you another point on the circle, but they don't give you the radius. So when you see problems like that, what you need to do is the distance between these 2 points, the distance between the center and the point on the circle is going to be the radius. So to find the radius, you are basically going to use the distance formula. So right here we're going to do 2 minus 5 squared plus negative 3 minus 1 squared. That's going to give you negative 3 squared, that's 9. Negative 4 squared, that's 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. Square root of that is 5. We have the center, so x minus 2 squared plus y minus negative 3, so plus 3 squared equals 5 squared, that's 25. Another problem like that, we're going to have these 2 points. So the radius here is going to be the square root of, it's going to be 1 minus negative 5 squared plus 2 minus 3 squared. So this one is not going to be as nice as the other one. What do we have here? It's a square root. 1 minus negative 5, that's 6. 6 squared is 36 plus 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Negative 1 square root is 1, so we have a square root of 37. Okay, one thing that I want to tell you about this problem, when you have this, we don't really need to worry about this number, because remember, we're going to need to square that. We're going to need to square that number once we get to the equation, so we'll wait. X minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals square root of 37 squared is 37. And there's the equation. The most challenging of all these problems is when they give you the 2 endpoints of the diameter and that's all you got. So here's what you need to do here. First of all, since they give you the endpoints of a diameter, the midpoint of the diameter is going to be the center. So the center is going to be at the midpoint of the diameter, and that's what we're going to do here. So negative 4 plus 8 over 2, 3 plus negative 1 over 2. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Negative 3 plus negative 1 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So our center is going to be at 2, 1. But we're not done. Now we are also going to need to find the radius. So you find the radius by using that point and either one of these 2 points, it doesn't matter which one you're going to use. So to find the radius, we're going to need to do the square root, and let's use this point. So it's going to be negative 4 minus 2 squared plus, and then we're going to have 3 minus 1 squared, right? X minus x, y minus y. So negative 4 minus 2 and 3 minus 1. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 squared is 36. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So 36 And this 36 plus 4 is 40, so we have square root of 40. Just like the previous problem, do not worry about that, because we still need to put it into the formula. So our equation is going to be x minus 2 squared minus, this is our h value, plus y minus 1 squared equals radius squared. So negative square root of 40 squared is going to give you 40, and we are done. And this is how these problems are done.